Hi, it's Stephanie. I got a few requests to show my Halloween mini album that I was making for my son. I'm kind of embarrassed because there's so many people on YouTube who make such amazing albums, but I'll show it to you. It's one of my first albums. Well, actually, this one was my first mini album that I made for my daughter. Just open it and you can slide pictures in here, but I don't know if that really counts because there's no embellishing on the inside, just photo places. So this was what I made for my son. I used paper from, it's called Ravenhead Manor from Recollections. And let me adjust my camera. Oh, well, there you go. I was going to adjust the camera a bit. You can see it. Really cute boyish paper. Or it could be for a girl too, because there's purple in there and stuff. Alright. I have a frame here. The little bat right there is holding these tickets. And I'm going to put a picture of my son in there eventually. These flowers are from Prima and just some buttons, and I have a chipboard title, and I popped it up using my heat gun is a dimensional tool, and these roses are from I Am Roses, and then I made these lace flowers. This is vintage lace. And this was just some black lace that I found at Walmart. And then these are Prima leaves and some Recollections bling. And on the edges, I just painted the edges so that I could get that stark black look. And then the first page, it says Boo. And this paper was so pretty that I didn't want to cover up a lot of the images, so I worked around the images that were on the paper. And it's just a photo mat. And then on this, page, this is also from Recollections. This ball trim, and then we have a journaling spot. And this page is going to be pictures of his pumpkin. He painted his pumpkin this year. And then there's just some one mat for a photo of, I guess, him at the pumpkin patch or him and his pumpkin. This book is really simple. Again, I didn't want to cover up, this is velvet flocked, and I didn't want to cover that up. I thought it was pretty. There's some bat trim on a ribbon and just a photo mat, and Prima flowers with a pearl bling in this. Actually, no, the flower came like that. Came layered like that. And then just another spot for a photo with a piece of candy there. Photo can slide right in there. And I didn't want to cover up that image. I worked around the paper. And then I have this page. This slides out. Probably do some journaling right in here somewhere. That's some spider web bling. And then a photo mat, and a journaling mat, just painted. But that slides in here. And this will probably be a picture of him with his candy basket because there's a treat bag and a bunch of candy all over it and a key. And this is a Recollections flower that I painted and then glimmer misted. And these are just some Prima flowers here. And then the center rose and this little daisy is from I Am Roses. And a key from K & Company. And you saw this page. More of that vintage lace, some more of that ball fringe, and you saw I made these flowers. And I learned how to make these flowers from justafewdesigns.com. And a picture will slide right behind that skull. So a picture's going to go there. Lots of spots for pictures. More spots for pictures. Flowers are all from Prima or I Am Roses. And I learned how to make this flower from Arlene at My Butterfly Kisses 12. And then this page I didn't want to do anything to it because these bats are velvet flocked. But I did add this glittery bat and the word spooky with some googly eyes. And a picture will probably go in here. And then Recollections flower and I Am Roses flowers and some Recollections bling. And I made this to slide out, and it's got Halloween embossed on it and a spot for either 2 wallet-sized photos or journaling, and you can even put, I'll probably put 2 photos here and then some journaling back here, sorry. And it says Trick and Treat. I love this paper, it's so pretty. And then just a tag for a photo. And then the last page is just for a large size photo. So we got lots of good pictures. And the cat is dimensional also. Popped that up with hot glue. And then that's the back. I just left plain with the back and front match the papers. And that's velvet flocked. Isn't that pretty? That was my son's, and I kind of just threw his together. Poor boy. I always do his stuff last because I have more fun with the girl stuff. But this was my daughter, and I still have to do more with the binding, like put fibers and charms and stuff on it. And I have to do more to my daughter's binding too. But this was my daughter's. I used the Graphic 45 Halloween in Wonderland collection. And for this side, I just put some of those cards. And I have one of these 7 Gypsy swivel clasps. And then I found this skull. I have these skull keys. And like a little wing. I can't get it. It's like a little angel or bird wing. These are Prima flowers. And this bling, I don't remember where I got it. I don't remember who it's by, but it says Halloween in Wonderland, Jaden's first Halloween. And I made her tutu this year. And this was actually a silk flower. It was a rose. I pulled it apart, glimmer misted it, and glued it back together the way I wanted it. And there's a skull and then a tag that'll come out, and we'll probably put a picture on the back of it here. And then here's her pumpkin page, and it's got Tweedledee and Tweedledum with pumpkin heads. And this is my pumpkin, and I know I spelled it wrong, but I did it on purpose, I promise. And a photo will just slide in here. And these are Prima flowers. This is a Recollections rose, and I got these in from somebody in one of my group, my Cafe Mom group. She sent me some goodies, and these little flowers were included, and I love them. They're so neat. And then there's one of those aluminum roses. This I used Prima leaves, and I used Arlene's technique again to make that layered vintage flower, and I used Perfect Pearls to paint them. And I used Perfect Pearls and an espresso dauber to paint that key. It was a chipboard key. And that is torn right here. And I used Perfect Pearls to ink the edges and ink where it's torn. And then there's a little flower, aluminum flower, and then a bat. It came from my bat trim. And then you open it up, and there's spots for photos, spot for photo, and spot for journaling. And then I made this flower out of lace, out of that Walmart lace, and some sequins. 2 tags go back here. So spots for photos. Keep everything really simple. Spot for photos. The photo will go on the back here. I didn't want to cover up this picture, it's so pretty. And then I glossy accented the watch face, the pocket watch face, so it looks like glass. And this is probably my favorite page. These flowers are from Prima, and then I used a sparkly black brad. I love that vintage trim, and it looks the red and the vintage trim looks so good with this paper. And I used Crackle the Ranger Crackle, or Tim Holtz Crackle Paint in Fired Brick. And it just looks so good with the paper. And then there's 3 mats in here for photos. I love this page. So, I can't get it back in. But folded that in. Looks really cool. I love it. And then I like this page too. And I used that vintage lace to make another fabric, or another lace flower. And there's a Jabberwocky in the cage. I thought that was so cool. And I used some pearl trim to, because the Jabberwocky's hanging from the pearl trim. And Recollections Roses. And this comes out just so that you know that a photo will go back here. And this swivels. Swivels, and then you could put pictures on the back of them. And there's a bird up in this corner, and then I glimmer misted this trim with olivine and haunted shadows. And it looks really cool. And then just a photo spot. I didn't want to cover up Alice, so I put a little frame down here, and a picture will slide right in there. And the last part of it, glimmer misted this Recollections flower. It started off orange, but I wanted to make it look a little bit darker, so I used jack-o'-lantern, and these are all glimmer misted. And this file folder I glimmer misted, and it looks really cool. Like, it looks like a foggy night or something. I used Raven to glimmer mist it, but it says Boo and there's a spider. And then up here there's a spot for a photo. I didn't want to cut this picture up, so I'll probably put like maybe 2 wallet-sized photos on each side, and then you can open it up and see this pretty picture. And then journaling. And the last page was so pretty I didn't want to cover it up, so no picture will go here. It's just going to be as is. I didn't want to cover her up, or the queen, or any of these roses. Glimmer misted this lace with, I believe, candy. I don't remember the colors. Wait. Candy apple red and key lime pie. So it was bright, but to say creepy, but I didn't want to cover that up. And the back of it's just really distressed looking. Those are my mini albums. My first ones besides this one, which doesn't really count because there's no embellishing on the inside. I hope you like them, and thank you for watching. See you guys later.